This is part 2 of Glossier launching into Mecca. So what does this mean for the retail giant, and what does that tell us about the state of Australian beauty? I've made another video breaking down in depth why Sephora can't really compete in Australia. And essentially, the key takeaways were that Mecca offers a significantly premium experience that the Aussie beauty consumer responds to, and Sephora launched here too late. But what's so wild about Glossier not launching into Sephora in Australia is that they just launched in Sephora in the US and in the UK. What you need to know is that all the best brands at Sephora in Australia are exclusives. Brands that are either new or really trying to get that mass distribution in the US will often sign agreements with Sephora that if that brand does well enough, they agree that they will be stocked in Sephora in the markets that they want to expand into. This has happened with brands like Patrick Ta, Makeup by Mario, Fenty, slightly different because they're actually incubated by Kendo, which is owned by Sephora. Huda Beauty, Beauty Blender, like there are so many. Kind of just think of all the good brands that are stocked in Sephora in Australia. It's likely they're exclusives. This not being the case for Glossier says so much about the power of the brand, but also how much of a draw card Mecca truly is. Mecca is getting to a point where it's so significantly dominating the Australian market that for brands like Glossier, it's likely it's Mecca or it's nowhere type of conversation. While we're a long way from it now, it does beg the question that if Mecca could potentially force Sephora out of the market. This level of market share and power has never really been given to just one beauty retailer in a country. When you remove the beauty component of this and purely look at the business side, you see one retailer through brand acquisition and the economies of scale is increasingly holding more and more of the market share. And when you think of it like that, it starts to sound something like a Woolies or a Qantas or a CommBank. Of course, it's a vastly different industry with different regulations, licensing and approvals. But isn't it interesting that in Australia, even our discretionary spending is becoming increasingly funneled? As a Mecca stan till I die, this is nothing more than exciting right now. But could Mecca get to a point where they are a Woolies and just have the ability to charge and do whatever they want? They can truly grow so big to own the Australian beauty market.